Hello. So I got a really interesting question. Let me settle down. Alright. This interesting question came from a very dear friend of mine, right? She's in college right now, and so she's been following my channel. I asked her to follow it, and she kind of liked this advice that I give on my channel, and she kind of wanted me to answer one of the questions that, like a problem that she's facing. Let me get all these people out from here. Okay, let's start again. So this problem comes from a dear friend of mine. She's in college right now, and she's been following my channel, following my videos, and she kind of liked my advice. So she says that she's an athlete and she's preparing for a soccer match. Good for you. Now the problem is, this one morning she was doing her practice and she was running out in the park where some girlfriends, like they're not friends but like the classmates of her, like those elite hooligans, right? Those rich brats that always pick on some people. They found her running in the park, and there were 5 or 6 of them, and they started harassing her. So one of them, she was eating a banana. There was hooligans, and she threw a banana at her, and it smacked on her head, right? She saw it, she reacted to it, obviously she was angry, but she decided, because there were like 6 of them, so not to do anything because they were gang up on her, right? So they knew, first of all. Sometimes you gotta realize when to fight and when to back up, right? Sometimes you gotta know when to fight and when to back off. Good thing you did that. No, but she's still angry, she's mad about it, and she thinks that if she won't take any action about it, this will happen again. And it's not, and other friends of her, they have reported that it's not just her that has happened, that this thing happened to her, but she also have other friends that reported the same thing. They said, these rich brats get always found in the gang, and they just, pick on other girls. They kind of like guys. Guys gang up and do this shit too. So it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a guy. So she came to me and she told me about the situation, and she said, what should I do? And what's the best way to tackle this situation? I thought about it, and I think what you did first, like not reacting to it and just moving away from there, firstly, was a good thing. Secondly, and I'm saying this from my experience, something like that happened to me when I was in college, and here in the US this happened, and so I'm going to share it from my experience. Almost identical. Okay, almost identical incident happened to me. I did not react, and because there were like 3 of them, and they were like big bullies, but I'm big, but they were bigger. So I decided to just go from the spot that time. Now this is what you can do, and this is what I did. I'm telling from my experience. You find them some other time, right? That was not the time, that was not the place. Let's say you find them, all 3 of them, or some more friends, doesn't matter. Especially you have to find the guy who threw the banana on you, right? And you gotta find them. I'm thinking. It's interesting. Brought back a lot of memory. So you find these people and go to them, right? Now here's the thing. Energy is vital. assertive in what you're gonna say next, right? And you cannot lose your confidence, lose your ground, especially. Breathe into your balls, right? Deep breathing. Don't let shallow breathing take over, because that's vital. Your tone, what you're gonna say next, your expressions, your confidence, every single detail matters at this point, right? So this is what I did. I went to them and I said, hey, I understand you threw banana at me yesterday, right? I felt bad. I would appreciate if you would apologize to me. Now here's the thing, you have to do it in a very assertive way. Now I know that they're a bunch of hooligans, they're a bunch of brats, and they're gonna make fun of you, they're gonna be like, hoo ha hoo, they're gonna make all sort of noises because they have energy, right? They have energy. I mean, I'm talking from my experience, those guys, they had energy, but they were not grounded, right? They were not men. I mean, they were just a bunch of boys, big bully boys who had a lot of powers, big assertive energy, and they think of themselves as alpha males. Well, they're bad up bitches, pardon my language, but they're not grounded. That's one thing. So you have to be firm, stable, calm, confident, and most importantly, grounded. So you go to them, they're gonna make all sort of noises, they're gonna call you all sort of names, bully you, right? They're gonna say, no, we're not gonna apologize, what you're gonna do, you piece of shit, or whatever. They can say anything to you, right? Same goes in the case of girls. They can call you names, they're gonna make fun of you. You stand on your ground, right? This is a funny situation. You stand on your ground and you say, listen, I'm giving you a chance. You apologize to me. Let this thing get over. I would appreciate if you apologize, and something like that should never happen to me in the future. And we will just resolve this matter right here, right now. No harm done. Nobody gonna get hurt. Now there are two ways this thing could go, right? And chances that this would go south, which means they're not gonna apologize to you, chances of that are much higher. So they're gonna call you all the mean names, they're gonna say no what you're gonna do, because they kind of think that you're a coward, right? But you showed such a big move to come to them and said in such an assertive voice, they might feel not threatened. I shouldn't say threatened, but they might feel some sort of respect for you because you stayed on your ground and you know what's wrong, what's right? And they knew that what they did is not right, but it's just they have a lot of energy and they don't know what to do about it. So you go there, you told them this. Now if they apologize, right? If the person apologizes and say, you know what, I'm sorry, and this won't happen to you, you say, okay, that's all I need, thank you. You say thank you to them, and you say, I appreciate and I accept your apology, no harm done, still be friends, cool, and you just walk away from there. You have a moral winning over there, right? And you just won the fight. And yeah, that's your best bet. Now let's say other scenario happened and she says, or in my case, they say, no, what you gonna do, right? And I'm just being very polite, I'm just not using any cuss words, and they would use all sort of words. Then you would say, you would still be firm, assertive, do not let this conversation go any other direction. They say, oh, you this and that and this. No. You stay firm and you still stand on your ground. You're not going to move until you get an apology from them, right? But let's say they say no, what you going to do about it? Then you say, okay. And you say this to the girl, right, who threw that banana on you. You say, okay, listen, put it to a fight, right? Let's get dirty. Let's put this down on the table. Let's fight. Just you and me, and you set the rules of the fight. None of your friends gonna come in. They might gang up by this time and like actually beat the shit out of you. So I don't know if you got a bunch of other friends of you who are athletic, bring them along with you, or if no, then just go there, prepare. Keep in mind, whatever happens, it's gonna make you. Sure, it's gonna break you because if the fight happens, sure you're gonna get hurt, right? Maybe you win the fight, maybe you don't. But it's definitely gonna make you stronger from inside, right? So this is what I did, and you say, okay, let's put this to fight. If you're not gonna apologize, just you and me, no weapons, just fist fight, a fair fist fight. How about that, right? You said that with confidence, with breathing balls, with channelized energy, and just looking into his eyes, or her eyes in that case, right? You say that, now one of the two things would happen. Either they would feel like they get a bit threatened and feel utmost respect for you, and they would apologize at this point, or things could go really south. You might actually end up in a fight. Now, I'm not encouraging anyone to get into fight. Fighting is bad, and I'm not giving you a parental advice. I'm not your father or anything, but I'm just telling you from my experience, all the experiences that I have had. Fighting does not cause good to anyone, but sometimes in some situations you gotta fight, and then you can back out. Now let's say you start fighting. Now one of the two things could happen, right? Either you could beat the shit out of, literally, maybe you said you're an athlete, right? And you play soccer. Maybe you're stronger, they look stronger, they might be big or something. I don't know how those girls look, right? And maybe you can beat the shit out of them. In that case, they would respect you. If not, they will still gonna respect you for showing up, for standing up for yourself. But maybe they don't have enough mind to actually respect you. But what you ended up having is your self-respect, and that is beyond everything, right? Try to resolve it without fighting, right? Let's see if, I'm not saying that on the first, like, you can ignore it, but if you think this is just a one-time thing, you can completely ignore it, and if you can make peace with it, completely fine. If you can make your peace with it, go challenge it, face it. I don't care if you're a guy or girl, you can still be a warrior being a girl. You are, right? Just go and face it, and no matter what the outcome is, it's gonna make you a better, stronger person, a more warrior than most men of them, right? That's just my piece of advice. I hope you learn something new from this. Share what you think about this. This is just my perspective, right? My perspective. See what you feel and think about it. And this is for all of you who are out there who faced a similar situation or might face a similar situation, something like that. Think about it. React on it. Right? And as always, I wish you good luck.